In the world of luxury, few names carry the weight and influence of Bernard Arnault, known as the man behind LVMH, the largest luxury goods company on earth. Arnault controls a portfolio of brands that define elegance, prestige, and desire. From Louis Vuitton handbags to Dior gowns, from Dom Pérignon champagne to Tag Heuer watches, his empire touches every corner of the luxury market. Yet, his rise to the top was not built on loud headlines or flashy public appearances. Instead, it was a carefully planned journey of patience, strategy, and an unshakable vision. Arnault has been described as a master chess player in the business world, always thinking several moves ahead. His ability to spot undervalued assets, transform them into global icons, and position them in the most prestigious markets has made him one of the most successful businessmen in history. This is the story of how Bernard Arnault quietly built a $200 billion luxury empire, and how he became the richest man in the world without most people even noticing it happen. Early life Bernard Arnault was born on March 5, 1949 in Roubaix, a small industrial city in northern France. His father, Jean Arnault, owned a successful construction company that specialized in public work. This was not a family deeply involved in luxury or fashion. It was a family rooted in engineering, building, and practical business. Bernard grew up in a modest yet comfortable environment where discipline and hard work were valued more than glamour. From an early age, Arnault showed a sharp mind for numbers and problem solving. He attended the prestigious École Polytechnique, one of France's top engineering schools. There, he developed the analytical skills and structured thinking that would later define his business style. Unlike many who enter the fashion world through design or creativity, Arnault's background was built on strategy, mathematics, and efficiency. After graduating, he joined his father's construction firm, Barrett Savinel. At first, it seemed like his future would follow the predictable path of running a family construction business. But Arnault's ambitions were far greater. He was looking for an opportunity to create something much bigger than what he had inherited. Even in his 20s, he understood that industries rise and fall, and that construction, while stable, would never give him the global influence he sought. First, moves in fashion. The 1970s and early 1980s were not an obvious time for Arnault to enter the luxury industry. He was still managing the family construction business, but he was already studying other sectors. In 1984, he saw an unusual opportunity. A struggling textile company called Boussac Saint Frère, which owned several brands, including the legendary fashion house Christian Dior, was in financial trouble. Most saw it as a sinking ship, weighed down by debt and unprofitable division. Arnault saw it as a hidden treasure. Dior was not just a clothing brand. It was a symbol of French elegance and heritage, recognized around the world. He understood that no matter how poorly managed the company was, the Dior name alone carried immense value. Using a combination of personal funds and government support, he bought the company. His approach was direct and unsentimental. He sold off most of Boussac's other assets, from department stores to factories, and kept only Dior and a few select businesses. By focusing entirely on the most valuable jewel in the crown, Arnault turned a failing conglomerate into a focused luxury brand operation, the Dior takeover. The Dior acquisition was more than just a business deal. It was the moment Arnault learned how to mix financial discipline with brand storytelling. He did not try to change Dior's creative soul. Instead, he gave its designers and marketers the resources to innovate, while ensuring the business remained profitable. He invested in high-profile fashion shows, expanded into fragrances, and strengthened Dior's global presence. Arnault's leadership at Dior showed his understanding of balance. He respected the artistry of the designers, but paired it with strict business oversight. This blend of creativity and commerce became his signature approach. Under his watch, Dior's image was polished and elevated, appealing to both traditional high society clients and a new generation of luxury consumers. By revitalizing Dior, Arnault proved he could take an iconic but struggling brand and turn it into a profitable global powerhouse. Industry insiders began to see him not just as a businessman, but as a guardian of luxury heritage. And yet, he remained in the background, allowing the brand, not his personality, to take the spotlight, building the LVMH empire. In the late 1980s, Arnault's ambitions grew. At that time, Louis Vuitton, the famous leather goods maker, had merged with Moet Hennessy, the champagne and cognac producer, to form LVMH. However, the new group was plagued by internal conflicts and weak leadership. Arnault saw another opportunity to step in. Through a series of carefully planned share purchases, he gradually gained influence within LVMH. He formed alliances with certain shareholders, used precise timing in the stock market, and outmaneuvered rivals in boardroom negotiations. By 1989, he had taken control of the group. The French press called him the Wolf in Cashmere, a nod to his ability to strike decisively while maintaining an air of refinement. Once in charge, Arnault had a clear vision. LVMH would become become the world's dominant luxury group, covering every major category: fashion, jewelry, cosmetics, wine, and spirit. Over the next decades, he acquired some of the most prestigious names in the industry: Fendi, Givenchy, Bulgari, Sephora, Tag Heuer, Celine, and Dom Pérignon. Each acquisition fit into a larger puzzle. Arnault did not simply buy brands at random. He selected companies with strong heritage, global recognition, and the potential to grow under LVMH's umbrella. By the 2000s, LVMH had become the undisputed leader in luxury, with over 75 brands in its portfolio. Smart ownership strategy. Arnault's strategy was not just about buying brands, it was about owning them in a way that preserved their identity. While other conglomerates often merge operations to cut costs, Arnault kept each brand independent, with its own creative director, marketing team, and leadership. This allowed each house to maintain its unique style and loyal customer base. He also understood the psychology of luxury. Luxury goods are not sold purely for function. They are symbols of status, taste, and identity. By controlling supply, maintaining high prices, and crafting carefully managed brand stories, Arnault made sure LVMH products stayed desirable. One of his key philosophies was patience. Many of his acquisitions took years before they delivered strong profits. Arnault was willing to wait, reinvesting in design, advertising, and store experiences until the brand reached its full potential. In an age of short-term gains, this long-term vision set him apart. Quiet power move. One of the most remarkable things about Bernard Arnault is how he operates away from the spotlight. While tech billionaires and celebrity CEOs dominate headlines, Arnault keeps a low profile. His interviews are rare, his personal life is private, and his business moves are often revealed only after they are completed. This quiet approach allows him to negotiate without attracting unnecessary attention. He has been known to study a potential acquisition for years before making an offer, ensuring that every move is calculated. When he acts, it is swift and final. His influence goes beyond business. As the wealthiest man in the world, he has strong connections with political leaders, cultural institutions, and global markets. He has invested in art, supported cultural projects in Paris, and restored historic landmarks, strengthening LVMH's image as not just a commercial giant, but a guardian of culture. Design, marketing, and legacy. Arnault has always understood that in luxury, design is king, but storytelling is the crown. He hires visionary creative directors, names like Marc Jacobs at Louis Vuitton or Maria Grazia Chiuri at Dior, giving them freedom to innovate while keeping them aligned with the brand's heritage. This mix of tradition and modernity keeps each house relevant without losing its identity. Marketing under Arnault's watch is equally meticulous. Campaigns are cinematic, events are spectacular yet exclusive, and celebrity partnerships are chosen with precision. Owning an LVMH product is never just about the item itself. It's about entering a world carefully crafted to feel timeless. Looking ahead, Arnault has already begun preparing for the future. His children hold leadership roles within LVMH, ensuring the empire remains under family control for generations. His long-term vision, global perspective, and commitment to heritage make it likely that LVMH will remain the leader in luxury for decades to come. Final thought. Today, Bernard Arnault's net worth exceeds $200 billion. His empire spans every continent with flagship stores in the most prestigious shopping districts, products that define luxury across categories, and a portfolio that no competitor can match. From his early days in a construction firm to his bold move into fashion with Dior, from the takeover of LVMH to the careful acquisition of some of the world's greatest brands, Arnault's career is a masterclass in vision, patience, and execution. He proved that real business power does not require constant public attention. Sometimes it is the quiet strategist who shapes industries and changes history. Bernard Arnault's story is not simply about wealth. It is about building something enduring, a legacy that will outlive trends, economic cycles, and even generations. In a fast-changing world, he has created an empire that feels timeless. And in the world of luxury, perhaps that is the rarest achievement of all.